Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Another video on the Yamaha 1100 jet ski rebuild. If you were with us in the last video, you would have seen we got the motor apart, everything sandblasted and sent away to the powder coaters, ready to get done. So while we're waiting on that, we decided what we're going to do is we're going to pull the jet pump out of the ski, just under here. We're going to pull it all out and have a look, as we did purchase a wear ring for the jet pump. Never fitted one. I've been on the internet to have a look and see if I could find one getting fitted. Plenty on Sea-Doos and stuff like that. I haven't seen any for the Yamahas yet, so I don't know if I'm just punching in the wrong keywords or what, but we're just going to go ahead and have a look. We can get the part, so I'm assuming it's doable. I'm going to pull this thing apart, have a look and see what we can find. Alright guys, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and remove this ride plate so we can gain access to all of our nozzles and everything in this section here. So we've got 6 12mm bolts, and then we've got 4 Phillips head screws under here holding our speedo, and we should be able to drop that down and gain access inside here. Let's get into it. I'm just going to fold that up and just chuck it up there out of the way so it doesn't get annoying for us. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to pull this clip back here and push it up, and that should release our steering cable like so. It's just on a bowl, pretty simple removal. Just going to go and chuck it in reverse, and we should be able to disconnect the reverse cable and start looking at removing this front section of the nozzle. So just at the top here we've got another one, same deal, just slide the sleeve back, and this time we're pulling it down the cable to get off the bowl. If you can get your fingers in alright. I've got myself a flat blade screwdriver. We're just going to go in here, just get in onto the sleeve on the back of it, just give it a bit of a push back and then drop the cable down like so. Now from there we've got 2 bolts holding this front nozzle on, the steering nozzle, so we're just going to remove the top bolt and the bottom bolt, and I'm pretty sure that just slides straight off and we should be sweet. Alright, so now the steering nozzle's off, we've got to the main nozzle. So first thing we're going to do is go and cut this cable tie, remove this hose on the side here, and then we've got 4 10mm bolts around the outside and 2 12 to 14mm bolts in the hull, and that front nozzle should just drop off. Alright, just here we've got another hose, which I'd forgotten about, so we'll go and disconnect that, pull that off. Alright, then we've got 2 14mm bolts just up here holding the nozzle into the hull. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we've got a couple of tabs just here and a couple of tabs here. All the bolts are out. So now we should be able to just get our screwdriver and put it just between them tabs and just slowly pry it apart in both spots, and boom, off she comes. Sweet. Now if I remember right, we don't need to take this cap here off because that's actually bearing holding in our prop, if I remember right. So I'll just try and pry this apart, and I think the whole shaft will come with that housing. Alright, and as you can see, everything's looking pretty good, everything's feeling pretty good. You can see this propeller, that's reasonably new. I put that on only a few rides before it started playing up with the motor. That's an aftermarket Solus performance part. Made it absolutely fantastic. So anyway, now we're going to go ahead and get the housing off. Let's see how we go. Alright, so near housing we have 2 more 14mm bolts going up into the hull. Don't forget to undo them. Got our housing off, and I don't know if you can see it or not, there's just the tiniest little scrub there, so that's where it would have been, just there. That's where the propeller was actually catching on it. It really is next to nothing, but we're going to go ahead and replace this anyway. With it being a steel ring, I think it tends to swell up a little bit when it's sitting for a while, so I think the nylon one might do it some favours. Does look like the sleeve just presses in, so we're going to go ahead and set it up and see if we can get it out. Alright guys, so what we've got to achieve is this here is the wear ring, I'm assuming. Looking at the size of the one that I've bought and the one that's there, looks pretty well the same. As you can see on the other side, it goes in and there's like a seat there. So I'm assuming I've got to press on this side, push it out that side. So what we've gone and got is we've got ourselves a piece of stock here that we're going to machine down so it's small enough to go just inside the step, so we're just hitting the sleeve. And then we'll machine step down on the rest of it so it goes inside. Then we're going to put it up in the press, try and press this thing out, see how we go.
I've been living in paradise, and no more waiting on you tonight. And my dreams will never ever die. Can you feel that spark in our bones unite?
Alright guys, so we've just gone ahead and tried pressing that out. No good. I'm a bit worried about actually cracking the housing if I put too much weight on it. So what we're going to go and do is I'm going to go and chuck the 4-jaw back up in the lathe. We'll line it up and we'll just bore it out and see how we go. I'm not even 100% sure whether the part that I'm actually looking at is a sleeve or does it need bored out. It does definitely look like a sleeve, but in saying that, I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't say anything in the manual about it. So we're just going to go ahead. We'll just slowly start machining this thing out, and if we get to the point that it's at size for this other sleeve, well, we can press that one in. So let's go ahead, get the 4-jaw up and get started. Now I want to show you this here. So how I've done this is we've gone to 4 points. So as you can see, we're reading 0 there. And we're going to come around 90 degrees to the next point. 0 again. Zero again, so that's 3 points of 0, and then all of a sudden we've got this wear patch here, up by nearly 0.2 mil. So she's all clocked in, we're going to go ahead and get the boring bar set up and start taking some skims. So check this out. So there is a liner in there, very thin one. It's just starting to peel up now. But what I'm seeing with this plastic liner is we're going to be taking the housing out to this lip as well, and then the new liner will press into that. and that'll become our new lip into the next piece. So we're going to continue on, just taking another small cut and see if we can get this liner to come out completely, and then we'll be cutting into the alloy. There we are, the original wearing, new wearing. A little bit of a size difference, isn't it? This one looks more like a flower. Alright guys, so there you go, we've finished up, we've got it machined, we've got it pressed in, and it's fitting beautifully. I've just gone and slid it onto this, had a bit of a look to see how it's looking, and you can see for yourself actually. Nice and snug. Pretty happy with that. Alright guys, so there you go, we've managed to get it all back together. We just gave the back end a little bit of a clean up, we gave the ride plate a nice clean up, bolted it all back together, put a little bit of never-sees on all the threads as I'm putting everything back together. Do like to do that just in case we need to pull it back apart. Everything seems to come apart a lot easier than if you don't. If you don't, you get snap bolts and all the rest of that stuff kind of coming. We tried to avoid that, so as we have, we've done. The only other thing that I did do, which I didn't realise the camera wasn't recording for, was the speedo. They've got a tendency of just cracking around where the lock nut slides is. So we've put it back together, and I've just put a bit of JB Weld around the outside of it, just to stick it all back. Originally I didn't even have it. That is a new speedo thing from last time I was doing work on this. I ended up buying it because the speedo originally wasn't working with it. So I bought it, and when I bought it, they were actually all cracked, and the the wrecking yard that I did get it from said it's pretty hard to find them without damage, and I couldn't find any anywhere for a genuine. So we just deal with what we got. It hasn't come out yet, but this time I've gone and put just a bit of JB weld around it just to keep it secured, make sure everything's all happy. So super happy with how it's all turned out. We got that new wear ring in the end. That was really daunting. I've never done something like that before. There was no instructions or anything came with it, so it was kind of like hit or miss what we're going to do with it. But in the end, we got it in there, and it's looking sweet. The gap's definitely a lot smaller than what the stainless one was. Like I said, there was a stainless one before. I've had it before where it's locked up before with the ring swollen up on it, and I actually put it in my lathe and just machined a bit out just so it was missing the propeller. Put it back together, took it out for a run. Everything was still running fine with it. But unfortunately this time it's done it again, and I didn't want to take that chance with it happening again and again and again. So we thought, let's just try and fix it. We were on the internet looking at parts and stuff, finding rings and everything else for it. And I come across this wear ring, so I thought, why not? Best time to do it. So we chased down this wear ring, we got it. And we just had to nut it out, how we had to fit it out ourselves. As you can see, when the original stainless sleeve came out, there was a lot of corrosion behind that sleeve, and I believe that's what was actually causing it, was the corrosion's growing, the stainless ring was kind of creeping inside, and then finally hitting the propeller. So now that's gone, the nylon liners are supposed to have some benefits in the way of protecting your propeller, and because we have got the aftermarket propeller in this, and it did cost me like $400 for this propeller, I don't want to see it getting damaged, so this is going to be a benefit in that aspect, where apparently if there's a rock or something goes through, apparently the nylon ring's got a lot more give than what the stainless does, where the stainless will jam it up and you just take chunks off your propeller, where this one will kind of just let it slip through the nylon, out it goes kind of thing. So fingers crossed it works like that. The other benefit is with it is later down the track, if it starts swelling up and hitting the propeller again, it's just as easy as purchasing another one of them liners, $49. Press that one out, press a new one in, chuck it all back together, and off we go again. So absolutely fantastic. But we are going to call that a wrap for this video. So if you are liking the content, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, set your notifications for upcoming videos. We've still got a hell of a lot of work to do on this ski for what we want to do. Really looking forward to getting the motor back all powder coated and getting that thing in looking sweet. Don't forget to give the video a like. Any comments down below? If you'd like to see something on the channel, if you'd like to see something with the video, or is there something that you've seen that could help me out with the videos, please don't forget to set the comments down below. Thank you for watching our videos. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.